Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to Saying It Like It Is. Today's topic is about when you're receiving so many offers, especially recently, and you see it at almost in my location. I'm not going to speak for everybody else's location, but you guys can let me know if you guys seeing this. Now, this is nothing new. This was happening in the past as well, but not the frequency that we're seeing lately, or let's say that I'm seeing like recently. Almost every offer that I receive, there'll be a certain item out of the order that says, frequently missing. Please check the order. Another order. This item frequently missing. Now, I do believe that people that do speak the language and read the language, that even them, they will not read the order, they will not check the order, and just grab the bag and go. We understand that. But when you're adding people in there that do not speak the language and they do not read it either, they cannot communicate with the restaurant staff. They don't understand what the order is saying because it's in English. And then they get to the customer's home and the customer's trying to communicate with the driver and they cannot communicate. How do you think that's going to go down? Because we know recently they keep adding, even recently because of the holidays, they're adding more and more people, and we know the answer of the gig economy companies is that, oh, we love to have people in there who are illegally here, they cannot speak the language, they cannot read it, because they're the ones who are going to pick up these $2 and $3 offers. Yeah, but they don't see the flip side of that effect, where a lot of these customers are going to be getting pissed off because they're paying a service fee and they're paying tips and they're not getting their items, and they make sure in the order, the companies are trying to make sure that they write it there, frequently missing item, with big bold letters, so this way you can read it to make sure that this customer in the past is getting these orders and they're frequently missing these items, to make sure it doesn't happen again. But now we have an influx of people who don't speak the language or read it. How are they going to read the order if they don't speak it and read the language? They look at the order, they don't understand, they can see the name, they just show the phone to the restaurant staff. The staff is trying to communicate with the driver, they cannot communicate. Customer trying to communicate, nothing. How are these deliveries correctly being delivered? The answer is they are not being delivered correctly. The person that's delivering it, they're hoping that everything is perfect. So they're taking every order by chance, hoping that it's perfect and it's 100% correct on everybody else's part. But your part is crucial as well. You need, as a driver, to communicate sometime with the restaurant staff. And also you need to text the customer or talk to the customer on the phone. And sometimes you meet them at the door, the customer, and they need to communicate with you. They need to ask you some things as a customer. They're paying money for this. It's not free. Don't you think a lot of these customers are going to be pissed off and going and picking up their items instead? They're going to say, the hell with it. I'm paying this ridiculous service fee, I'm paying all these tips, and I'm constantly getting my order with missing items. Now what? Now, I had an order the other day. The order itself, it said, make sure you tell the staff to include chopsticks in the order. And I looked at the order and they were missing. So, since I understand the language and I read it, I asked them, by the way, I need some chopsticks for the order. I don't see them in the bag. Well, they handed me the chopsticks and I put them in the bag with the order. So this way, now this order, the item is not missing. Another time I went to Jersey Mike's. There was supposed to be 2 cookies in the order. 2 sandwiches and 2 cookies. The cookies, I looked in the bag. I see only the 2 sandwiches. No cookies anywhere. So I asked the staff, oh, by the way, this order has 2 cookies. And they looked at the order and said, yeah, you're right. Can you please go around and grab the 2 cookies from the counter there? And I did. I went around the counter. Which ones are they? They told me these ones. I grabbed 2 of them. I put them in the bag. And they said thank you to me because, I'm doing their job. And away I go. But if you don't speak the language and read it to understand it, what would have happened with these offers? They'll be missing the items. They'll be missing the cookies. Now you might say the mistake it was on the restaurant part. Yeah, but they're giving you something to read. In case they forget, you can read it and you can kind of make up for it. Well, it shouldn't be that way. It should be the staff that gets the order, but we know how things are. And the way things are is that sometimes you have to be a part of completing that order by reading the order itself to make sure, and they tell you that, make sure you ask the staff. Make sure all the items are included, right? They tell you that in the gig economy. But if you don't speak the language and read it, you don't understand what it's saying. How do these orders are being completed correctly? The answer is they're not. It's on a whim. Hopefully that order was completed 100% correctly, and they just grabbed the bag and delivered, and then everything goes well by luck, by chance. That's not how these deliveries are supposed to go down. I'm sorry. Now, they'll say, well, we do have people that speak the language and read the language, and it still happens. But it's not as much as it is now. Why? Because you're adding more gasoline to the fire now. You're adding a lot of people that guarantee that the order is not going to be completed correctly. There you go. Should be a necessity that you need to know how to speak the language and read the language when you're working in the gig economy. If you ask me, the answer is yes. You're dealing with customer service. When you're not dealing with customer service and you don't interact with the public, if you have a type of position like that and it's not necessary, that's fine. You stay there, and then during the time that you're working there, you learn the language, and then you can move up to do better things. But right off the bat, you're throwing people into a field that you're required. You are required, even though they don't say, they don't mention it in their website, they don't mention it in their qualifications. They're a bunch of high school kids. I told you guys over and over again. These companies, they're running it like a bunch of high school kids. They don't know their left elbow from their right elbow. Yes, it is a necessity to know the language. You're dealing with customers. You're dealing with the restaurant staff. They need to communicate with you from time to time. It's crucial to know the language and read it. They send you the order. They're sending the order in English. You need to know, to read it to understand what's going on. It's not like, everybody, willy-nilly, everybody can be on board with this shit. That's the problem with everything in this country. Everything in this country has become willy-nilly. Then it bites you in the ass, and then you're like, we didn't see that. We couldn't foresee that. Who are you kidding? That's why everything is a mess. That's why everything is a mess. Especially in the gig economy where you interact, it's a delivery service. You need to know the language big time and to read it too. That's a major, major factor in the gig economy. Major. It's very major. Anybody pretty much, and your grandmother can drive a vehicle. Communication is the main thing in the gig economy. Communication. Understanding what the order is saying. Communicating with everybody. But I guess it's just me ranting. But I believe a lot of these veteran drivers out there, they are the ones that are losing the customers that they're making money from. And these customers can be good customers. And these customers could be high tipping customers. And we're losing them as well. And now they're going and picking up their stuff because they say the hell with it. But if you guys see this in your market, let me know in the comments, and what do you guys think about the whole thing, right or wrong, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.